See you soon. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Blink Esports UK League Season 3. Today's two matches are going to be between Team Toasty versus Team Deter. I am your host for today, Shoutcaster, caster in general, analyst, sometimes analyst, Coder1304. I hope that everyone is going to enjoy these two matches. We are going to have a little bit of a delay for the time being. We are just waiting for Team Deter to ready up and be sure that they have all of their members ready for the game ahead of us. For the time being, I will continue to let the Dota soundtrack play. If anyone has any questions whatsoever, please ask in the chat. We'll be analysing both of the team's drafts and previous match history in a short period of time. So then, as we wait, we will have a look at some of the previous matches that Team Toasty and Team Deter have played recently in the rest of the Blink Esports UK League Season 3. So, both teams have played two sets of matches so far. One last week and one the week before. Starting with Team Deter. On their team, we have Alan, who is the primary mid player, Squirtle, who is support, 5i, who is the safe lane carry, Stefan, who is the offlaner, and Spruce Moose, who is the second support for Team Deter. Have a look at their previous game from last week against Team Justas, the team that Team Toasty played in the first week. That was a victory for Team Deter. And the loss again for Team Justas. Just looking at the Battlefy, just looking at the groupings right now, we can see that Team Deter only have 3 points currently. Not 100% sure why that is. Just looking. Oh, okay, here we go. So one of the games which I actually missed was Do Bears Shit in Space. So one of the teams that has been playing who has been playing very, very well so far. Their next game is later today, I do believe, against Team Enclave Gaming. And so far, been talking to a couple of the teams, and they look like the team to look out for. They beat Team Deter in the first week 2-0. But moving on swiftly to the team at Justas versus Team Deter game that was played last week. We had in the, I believe this is the second game. No, sorry, the first game. So in the first game, we had Squirtle one of the primary supports, playing Witch Doctor. Alan mid with a Juggernaut, which is a little bit curious for that pick. Stefan on bottom lane, on the off lane. As Nick's assassin, Spruce Moose was roaming around the map as a support. And 5i was the safe lane carry on a lone druid. A hero I didn't actually expect to be seeing. Well, not as much anyway. He's not particularly meta and it takes a lot of skill to be able to play him. And looking at his item build, he played him very well. Getting the correct items that were needed in a shortish game. So yeah, 53 minutes in this game, and 5i, the safe lane up for Team Deter, actually ended with 35,000 net worth. So it's a lot of net worth for basically two heroes. Abyssal Blade, Assault Cuirass, Hannah Midas, Echo Saber, Phase Boots, and the Radiant, which is all very nice items. They're basically standard for a lone druid. So it does look like our first game between Team Toasty and Team Deter is underway. It's going to be loaded into our game, and we will get into the picking and banning phase as soon as possible. Just jumping over quickly to Team Toasty. Last week they played against Paul Smith Shoes. The first match was a lot closer than expected from Team Paul Smith Shoes and Team Toasty, but Team Toasty did manage to overthrow Paul Smith Shoes and won the bracket 2-0. The first game, we had Grey Sponge, who is the mid player for Team Toasty, playing Puck. Pastela Luca, who is a support for Team Toasty, playing Disruptor. Sarge, who is Team Toasty's offlaner, playing on a Titan. They've got some fantastic Ravages in that game. If you are looking for a fantastic game to go and watch, please go and check that one out very soon. You can find it either on my Twitch VODs or in the YouTube channel below. I believe we also had a Terra Azrael, who is the carry player for Team Toasty, playing a Morphling, I do believe. Yep, playing Morphling, and then we had Wub playing Elder Titan on the bottom lane as support. Again, it's a fantastic game by all players, but Team Toasty did come out ahead. So we're just going to be loading into our first game, and hopefully jump into the picking and ban phase very soon. And here we go, we are already into the picking and banning phase of this game. So as you can see, the Winter Wyvern pickup and Centaur Warrunner pickup for Team Deter. And a Drow pick. Wow, I'm very surprised actually Team Deter allowed that through. Drow's very tier 1 right now. Some would even go as far as say that she's a bit broken. But the pairing up with Vengeful Spirit is fantastic. Just going to allow even more output of damage on the board.
Reserve time. Dire team's turn to ban.
So Team Toasty banning out the Lifestealer there. Lifestealer is going to be a big problem for the playstyle of Team Toasty. They tend to pick strong magical heroes. Puck, Sand King, Tinker. They are the primary mid characters that they will be picking for Grey Sponge. From what we've seen in the previous matches as well, it looks like that they always pick Grey Sponge's mid last. Just to be able to analyse the situation, which is a good idea, but sometimes it is nice to get ahead of the bans. No bans coming out from Team Deter that are really a problem for Team Toasty. They ban out the Ricky. Team Toasty known to ban Ricky pretty early on, so it kind of saves them a ban. Team Deter actually did play Ricky in a previous game, I believe, in their first week against Dubear's Shit in Space. I can double check those stats in a second. But I think this game should be pretty close. But yeah, the Drow Ranger and Vengeful Spirit line up. Very nice combination. Obviously, Drow gives additional damage to all ranged heroes with Precision Aura. And also, Vengeful Spirit with Vengeance Aura gives a damage bonus to allied heroes close to her. So, a Venge Drow safe lane is a very hard lane to lane against. And that's a possibility why they picked up the Centaur. A Centaur with Return, which is his third skill, is a passive, enables him to jolt back some of the damage and return it to whoever is dealing it to them, hence the name Return. So it kind of forces the carry or other people to play around that and not chuck massive bursts into him and deal tons of damage, as they could end up killing themselves. So a Jug ban coming out for Team Toasty here. It looks like they've seen Team Deter pick this up. Both teams are known to play Juggernaut. We saw Terra Israel in the first week, I believe, against Team Eustace, actually pick up Juggernaut, and the second game, it got respect banned. He did a good job of just going around the map and finding kills, not only that, but just staying on his lane and winning it. So eating quite a way through their reserve time, but Phantom Assassin is getting picked up. Now, what we've seen recently in this patch, well, last patch, 6.8. Yeah, 6.88 G, sorry?
Dire team's turn to pick.
D. Was Phantom Assassin roaming and playing as a support hero, grabbing an Orb of Venom in the early game, and a, I can't remember what it's called now. The,
10 seconds remaining.
we'll see. But there's a strong possibility that this Phantom Assassin could, instead of being a carry, which her primary role is, actually play support, which is a different way to play the hero, but has been effective. But recently in this patch 6.88E, the primary reason that she was picked for her supporting her Staff and Dagger got a bit of a nerf. The range actually got shortened. It was originally, I believe, 1,300 at all levels, and now it is scaling from a lower pick. So that puck pickup, actually, from Team Toasty is very, confusing. As I said earlier, Grey Sponge is the mid player for Team Toasty, and his picks are almost always last. I don't think they haven't picked a hero last for Grey Sponge before, so maybe they're scared about the ban. Grey Sponge has been playing puck quite a bit, and it's good in their team. Can't really fault you about that. So an early pickup for the mid, basically. Only 5 seconds. Well, yeah, 5 seconds left of reserve time for Team Deter, and a Zeus pickup. Oh, okay. So that's gonna be a difficult game for puck. However, with Ethereal Jaunt and Phase Shift, sorry, you can dodge the majority of Zeus's skills if you are quick enough. And wow, Nature's Prophet. Are we going to see some cliff jungling? Or are we just going to see some normal jungling? Maybe a, with the Drow Ranger, this is looking like an early push lineup. Nature's Prophet, obviously known for his ratting and pushing capabilities, being able to spawn treants. And Drow Ranger, especially with Vengeance Aura from Vengeful Spirit, it's going to be doing tons of damage to towers. An Abaddon ban? I'm not too sure why that was a ban, to be honest. I can't see that really fitting inside of the team comp. Of course, they need a... well, there's a possibility they need an offlaner. Due to Nature Prophet jungling, maybe. But Nature Prophet could also jungle, and then they could pick up another support on Wub.
5 seconds remaining.
But I believe, Wub is known to play Nature's Prophet, so it's a possibility he's a Nature Prophet support. So his items, he will most likely be the 4th slot though. Vengeful Spirit being the 5th slot, most likely going for Solar Crest, etc., etc. But yeah, the Zeus pickup for Team Deter is to kind of counter the puck a little bit. Puck obviously not the highest amount of health in the early game, so being able to nuke her down very soon is good. And yes, I was right then. So it looks like Wabi is going to be playing Nature's Prophet, and Sarge's, I kind of want to say signature. Did a fantastic game when he played him, Tidehunter, coming out. So Team Toasty not wasting any more of their reserve time, keeping it at 140 and just picking out that Tidehunter for Sarge. This lineup's looking pretty good for both teams so far. It's going to be a close game. The Winter Wyvern. Oh, Omni Knight pickup. Okay. So, there's a possibility of Zeus Allen mid. If the statistics I've been given are correct, of course. Steelfan Centaur off lane, maybe? With Squirtle on Phantom Assassin. Spruce on Winter Wyvern. And 5i on Omni Knight, maybe. Huh, okay. So, a couple of connection issues with Dota, but sounds about right. Okay, so now if we just actually check what it is, and... Oh, okay, so yeah, apologies, my my statistics were wrong. Stefan looks like appears to be the mid player for Team Deter, and he is going to be playing, mid with the Zeus. Okay, just going around. We see Grey Sponge Puck. Wub on Nature's Prophet. Terra Azrael on Drow Ranger. Pastor Luca on Vengeful Spirit. And finally, Sarge on the Tidehunter when he reconnects. We have Squirtle on Phantom Assassin. So this is going to be a support Phantom Assassin. Melon? Melon? Not too sure. That's most likely going to be a stand-in. And Fabled as well appears to be a stand-in. So players they might not have played with before. So could be difficult. Could be difficult to judge this game so far. So it's like the trees are going for both runes. Casual stuff. Nothing really surprising here. However, it looks like both teams committing a lot for this bottom lane. However, obviously, scouted out by a little treant. Little cute treant. Sneezing fit. Apparently a sneezing fit. That's fantastic. Wow. So it looks like Tidehunter just blocking off the camp here. Just not allowing them to be able to pull in the early game. Little bit of a puppy pause.
That was good of you.
30 seconds to battle.
So now we have, looks like possibly 4 committed for bot. No, it looks like the Zeus is rotating up to the top rune, which seems to be uncontested, and I don't think Sarge on Tidehunter can really contest that on his own. And it looks like Team Toasty do have full control over that bottom rune, so Grey Sponge will probably pick that up, just be able to enable him to get his bottle a lot sooner. And Zeus does actually manage to get that rune, and that does actually enable him to get an instant bottle. So the wards coming out a very defensive ward placement from 5i on a So already a D ward happening in bot lane, and another sentry being popped down, and it doesn't block a camp, and it also is out of range of the other sentry ward, so no vision there. Yeah, so it does look like Wob is going to be jungling for a little bit in the early game. So a tri-lane on the off-lane, and just harassing Pastor Luca. They might even get the kill! A lot of damage coming out from Arctic Burn, and Squirtle harassing with Staff and Dagger. Doing exactly what he wants to be doing. So it looks like Fabled is going to be pulling the lane and stacking the medium camp. Just be able to mess up the equilibrium a little bit and force him, Terrorazil, to be a little bit out of position for his farm. Does manage to get one of the medium camp creeps out and possibly a second one as well. So actually goes against what Omni Knight was trying to do. Oh, Omni Knight does manage to snag it though. 50 gold goes to the way of him. Which is actually quite a lot in the early game for a support. That's almost an entire ward. And obviously, wards are not cheap. 65 apiece. So it's like Wave of Terror is picked up early in the game for Pastaluka. So I'm guessing that's just so the armor reduction and the minor damage, just so Terrorazil can deal even more damage to whoever's hit by it. And such like that. This enables them to push even more. And Arctic Burn and Hill Bomb coming out. And it looks like Terrorazil could actually drop here. He needs to pop his cell very early, but Dagger does manage to get him on first blood to the side of Team Deter. Moving over to the mid lane, looks like Grey Sponge also might drop. He has bottle charges, but he's trying to man fight a Zeus. Zeus doesn't have any mana, but he does have a bottle of invisibility, so should be okay. Spruce Moose grabbing the rune just to disallow Grey Sponge from grabbing it and healing up his health and mana even further. Terrorazil moved back to lane. Obviously not too happy about getting picked off in the early game, but not much you can really do about that. You need to play a little more defensive, especially when you're playing against 3 heroes on the same lane. The Hill Bomb was very nice from Omni Knight as well. So basically what happened there was PA Phantom Strike, which is a short-range blink to a target onto Terrorazil. And mid-blink, Fabled actually popped his heal on her, which deals pure damage. Okay, so it looks like Arctic Burn being popped on Pastaluka this time, along with Staff and Dagger, and he will fall as well. Terrorazil slowing up the Omni Knight, but nothing to come of it. 3 minutes 30 into this game and 2 deaths to Team Toasty. Nature Prophet making a move on mid here. Looks like he could be trying to loop round to try and go onto this Zeus. Grey Sponge is pretty low. Actually, it gives him a tango so he can sustain it lane a little bit more. Grey Sponge looking to try and grab the rune, and they might even get the kill, and they do manage to get the kill along with an Arcade rune, a fantastic rune for Grey Sponge. So what happened there was Wub and teleported in with teleportation, his second spell, and then just sprouted him, keeping him trapped, disabling all his vision. Grey Sponge actually could have died there if Zeus had much more mana, as he was quite low when going on that fight. So very good team coordination from him. Moving into the bottom lane, looks like Terrazil's gone on again. Stuff and Dagger isn't on cooldown, but there is no vision of it. Omni Knight pretty low, but can hit himself up with Purification, but it looks like he's trying to save the majority of his mana for Purification when it's actually going to be doing damage. Looking at the last hits, you can see a lane that we've totally neglected this entire game. Sarge on the off lane. Doing a fantastic job of harassing a centaur and getting great last hits at the same time. 22 last hits, 0 denies, but who needs denies when you can continue harassing? Should be the safest person in the game. So moving down to the bottom lane, it looks like Team Deter are setting up for another go. Possibly a tower dive under tier 1s. Pastaluka might scout them out if he pops a Wave of Terror, but doesn't look like he's going to do a preemptive one at all. So this Observer Ward's doing some great work for Team Deter. Basically, it's giving them full vision under Team Toasty's tower and actually scout out Grey Sponge's TP in. So Team Toasty might actually notice this, and it looks like silencing up Fabled and actually managing to pick him off maybe, but no, he heals himself up, but the right clicks do come in and are enough. Squirtle gets hit with Dream Coil, but Phantom strikes out, and during that time, Nature's Prophet TP'd in and picked off Winter Wyvern as well. So it was 4 people that rotated, 2 people that rotated onto making it a 4-on-3, but they got what was worth it. now ahead in this game by 1 kill. So I won't really say ahead. Have a look at net graph. Little bit of a swing from that last fight. Not insane amounts, but enough to put them in the lead slightly. Still very early on though, to be able to decide the winner of this game. So Vengeful Spirit. He's going to continue to pull and take out this lane just to enable her to be able to get some more wards and runes and wards and sentries, etc. But he's very poor right now, only a magic stick. Rotating onto mid, Grey Sponge doesn't realise that Omni Knight's there. So if he does overextend, he could get taken out. But Thunder God's Wrath is off cooldown. He does have it, but looks like Grey Sponge could actually drop here if Thunder God's Wrath is popped, but no mana! Will the bottle charge do it? No, just not. Actually, dropping the Null Talisman to picking it up might actually give him enough if he uses the 1 charge, but looks like Grey Sponge has actually healed up enough for it to not be able to deal fatal damage yet. One more Lightning Bolt, though, could be quite a big turnaround. So moving down into bot lane again. Starfing Dagger popped on Terrazil, Heal Bomb, and the slows coming out onto Pastor Luke. Sarge does have Ravage, no Gush. But does hit an Anchor Smash. It does end up saving Pastor Luca, but a Stifling Dagger coming out, and he could actually drop here if he gets jumped on under the tower. And this is a fantastic job for that ward. Actually enabling Squirtle to be able to have vision. Sarge looping round, just going to farm up while his friend is away, and Pastor Luca getting caught out by the ward, but stunning up. Terrazil, silence and push back, and Pastor Luca does drop to Zeus ult. Does only get that 1 though, so I'm not too sure if it's personally worth it for the support. Terrazil doesn't have ult yet, and I think that's going to be his downfall. Just does not have enough damage to be able to sustain a kill, but Wub does manage TPing in and taking out Winter Wyvern, and now they can go on to Squirtle, onto Phantom Assassin. They do end up catching her, and there's nothing she can jump to. Ravage coming out as well, just hitting on her, and taking out the Omni Knight. 3 for 1 trade. 3 for 2 trades, sorry, and that was a great fight from Team Toasty. It looks like they are going to continue pushing this out as well now. So they are rotating a lot just for this bottom lane, but being able to shut down a tri-lane is fantastic for Team Toasty. Levels are all still pretty balanced. Sarge overextending a bit, actually. Doesn't really... Oh, what a fantastic Dream Coil! Hits on 3, kills Omni Knight instantly. Winter Wyvern has to curse herself and heal herself up. Grey Sponge does get crit down by Squirtle, but now it looks like Sarge tried for the TP, but it got cancelled almost instantly by Zeus with his Lightning Strike. Now it looks like he's going to try and get a trade kill, but does get taken out, but does manage to pick off Winter Wyvern with the help of the creeps. So that is a 3 for 2 trade. Wow, I'm a bit confused about the overextension from Sarge. Sure, it enabled 1 kill, but I don't think it was really worth it. I really don't think it was worth it. Squirtle, pretty low, and it looks like the TP was going to be coming out from Wub, but changed his mind after we saw the Omni Knight, and Omni Knight then heals him up. Grey Sponge rotating into the mid lane, now has his Blink Dagger and blinked onto the Zeus, silencing him up, pops an Illusionary Orb just to deal with additional damage, and does Wanding Rift out of there, just not wanting to risk going up against a Zeus that has all of his abilities off cooldown, and has the mana for all of them as well. Very, very quick burst Zeus has, so however, this blink could be the end of Zeus. If Grayson does put a bit hot, haste is popped, blink is popped also, silence, Illusionary Orb, and Dream Coil all popped just for this 1 kill. And, oh, it does get crit on the first hit, but haste is doing its job, not being slowed by any slowing abilities. Soften Dagger was a fantastic blink as well. It's a nice Illusionary Orb, it's kind of preemptive, so pops it, going in this direction, just so he could get out, but PA was on the sidelines. Sadly, not in there quick enough. This PA is rotated back down to the bottom lane, this time where Sarge lies, so it looks like they switched up the lanes a little bit. 11 minutes into this game, Sarge is now on the safe lane, playing an off lane, and looks like the safe lane and the support, Pastor Luke, Avenge, have rotated up top, playing it safe lane now. They don't notice Centaur and Winter Wyvern on the outskirts though, but they see Terra Azul. They get the stun off on Melons, and Melons don't end up dropping. Okay, so Winter's Curse popped a Grey Spawn, not dealing tons of damage, but looks like Winter Wyvern's dropping as well. They do manage to catch Fabled, and very, very close to getting out of that fight, but the just burst of damage from Puck. It did a great job of being able to take him out. So again, another fight taken poorly by Deta. In the early game, it looked like they had the advantage with the constant slows, but it looks like the rotations from Team Toasty have just been much better. 14-8, 12 minutes into this game. And the game nowhere near over. So he's staying mid a little bit, just going to farm up. Possibly go for an Aether Lens. A 2-no talisman build. Primarily for stats, but obviously you can't really forget about the little buff. It's obviously 2-no talismans just for... Wow, that's a real Grey Sponge. She's actually on the sidelines here, trying to just deal tons of damage. Confuse him with the illusions, I think he actually did. So it looks like Zeus is going for a Valid Discord, quite an early one as well, not even an Aether Lens. Primarily I go Aether Lens first, and I think a few people do as well, just for the additional chase with Arc Lightning and Lightning Bolt. And while I was talking about that, it looks like Tarzan to Juz managed to get another kill just underneath the top lane, and Grey Sponge going in on Stefan Zeus. Repel pops on Stefan, so no stun for him after Dream Coil, and they do disengage from there. I like to burn pots, and it doesn't look like they're actually going to deal any damage with it. Sarge trying to take out Winter Wyvern on his own, but Grey Sponge comes in, and the burst is there. Swap Stefan down to the low ground, but gets healed up by Omni-Knight. It doesn't look like they can continue diving while that tier 1 is up. The aid of the creeps is huge, but they are rotating 4 heroes through to it, and it looks like they will fully commit on this, with Sarge tanking the majority of it. The one range creep that wanted to live. Stayed in the trees just to help out any way he could. So Puck rotating back up the top, just waiting for the 14-minute rune, and only a bounty, nothing fantastic, but there is an arcane rune. So Grey Sponge most likely going to rotate for that and just keep it in his bottle. Just for the time being until the fire rises. Stefan, not too far away from his Valid Discord now, but far enough away to put Team Toasty ahead. Let's have a look at the net worth of both teams. You can see that 4 heroes are overtaking the entirety of Team Deter for Team Toasty. So Team Toasty in the lead net worth wise and XP wise, just under 5,000 XP lead. Sarge getting nuked down a bit by Stefan. Stefan does have ult, but kind of cautious to use it. Grey Sponge comes in, silences illusionary orbs, deals a little bit more damage and gets out, just to kind of scare them off. No abilities that were super necessary used there though. Grey Sponge jumps in, Dream Coils up, dives under the tower to be able to continue this push. The stomp coming through, and actually the Winter Wyvern ult, Winter's Curse catching 3, including Grey Sponge dropping Grey Sponge. No crit coming out of Terra's Hill, but it looks like Squirtle's crit does actually come out. Melon Jr. does drop, but it looks like with the Anchor Smash, they are going to disengage this fight. Pataluka trying to get out. No stun for the side of... Oh, the crit just coming out in the last seconds of that teleport. Squirtle must have sacrificed a few sheep for that one to RNGesus. That was the closest thing I've seen in a long time. That was a really good TP, but a little bit too open. A quick reenactment of what Squirtle was saying there. Quit, 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 quit! Luckily you did though.
I sprout anew.
Oh, Puck just taking out Phantom Assassin in the bottom lane just as he gets his Dagon. So actually enabling him to even get solo kills on a Phantom Assassin. He was actually in full health, so I'm just going to continue farming up the bot lane and getting the rest of his team to rotate in. And there is a possibility of a Roshan here, so just checking. It is up, no one is taking it yet. So it's always a possibility that Team Toasty could go for a 70-minute Roshan. There is no lifesteal on any of the heroes right now though, so it could be risky for Terrazil to go into it. John's Endurance being popped. Just be able to ensure the tier 2 does drop and smoked up from the side of Team Deter, and it does get revealed. Winter's Curse coming out on to Grey Sponge, but Sarge was stunned up. He didn't do any damage. The silence comes out on 3. Illusionary Orb getting pushed out and getting switched. Ravage coming out, hitting 2, hitting on Stefan, hitting onto the Centaur Warrunner. Looks like Centaur Warrunner could drop. Fantastic job by Grey Sponge to capture 3 with the Dream Coil and enabling those 3 kills. Squirtle and Fable a little bit late to the fight. Fable popping ult and a crit directly onto Wub of Nature's Prophet. Does end up sprouting her though. And another crit coming out. Jesus Christ, Squirtle, your crits are fantastic. The repel pops on Squirrel though does mean that Team Toasty will disengage. Another crit! What's going on? Jumps on in, has to teleport out with the Sprout. Does manage to pick up the Omni Knight. And it looks like Squirtle is trying to get Grey Sponge, trying for those crits, but it looks like he's expended all that he's going to get for a long time. Does dodge it just in case it was a crit. Blinks out, it's totally fine. Sarge, crit again? What's going on here? These crits are next level. Like, what? I think in that entire engagement, she got 5 crits. And they were so huge crits. They weren't little ones. They ensured a kill and almost got 2 others killed as well. And she was hoping for one on Grey Sponge because that would have brought him low and killed him as well. All in all, not a great trade for Team Deter. One for 4. But still trade nevertheless. Small victories. Grey Sponge stunning silencing on 4 and continuing to do damage. On to Evolution Jordan Dagon. Spruce pops Cold Embrace just to enable that he doesn't die to Nature's Prophet. Oh, but Dream Coil coming through on him to securing that kill. Tried to heal bomb, but Graham did glimpse out of it. Repel coming out onto Squirtle. And it looks like they are just going to focus onto Fabled and take him out. So a great thing they're doing so far is actually focusing the Omni Knight in fights. Allowing the Omni Knight to stay up in these fights, especially with a Phantom Assassin in the game, is going to be a detriment to the entirety of Team Toasty. They are all, I would say, pretty squishy if like the crits come out for Squirtle, and they have been coming out this game, so looks like Team Toasty are now going to, with the help of this DD rune, go for a Roshan. I don't think Deter can really contest this either. I think there's literally anything they can do. It does get scouted out by the Observer Ward that is placed up here from the Dire. But Grey Sponge does manage to find himself an invisibility ring. Roshan does fall, gets picked up by Drow, but Grey Sponge is pushing out with his high burst capabilities. He could get a pick off here if went to Wyvern push out a little bit too far. It looks like Grey Sponge is going to go on him. Silence first, maybe? Or is he going to let it go through? No, Silence, Dream Coil, Illusionary Orb. And the snap, maybe? Oh, no. Just allowing Wob's ult to come through and deal additional damage. The Silence and Gust coming through on Melon. Veil coming out, but does not do enough damage. Stefan is being really lax with the usage of Thunder God's Wrath. Not using it much, and I think if he's using it more, then he could actually disengage the majority of the team fights that are actually going on. If he hits a big Veil, of course. Obviously, enemy team is still veiled up, does just drop. But this is where Zeus comes into play. Zeus is great at clearing lanes, especially with Arc Lightning, but he does have to be careful about the Blade Mails that are coming out. So maybe Pastor Luca could be looking for a swap here. pushing in a little bit too deep and then swapping himself out of the situation. Obviously, possibly sacrificing life for the cause, but it's probably going to be worth it. Crit does come out on Terrazil, but he does have Aegis, so no real threat to him. But these crits are getting a bit absurd. Just the Staff and Dagger coming out and slowing. Gracemon's going to teleport back to base. All three actually going to teleport back to base, just to be able to heal up, sort out their items, and then move in with this next fight. They gone 4 now for Grey Sponge, with the net worth climbing ever so high for Team Toasty. 15,000 plus net worth ahead of Team Deter. The XP graph looking about the same, just above 10,000, and I don't want to say this game is lost because they have a Phantom Assassin. The Phantom Assassin can do some great work, but personally, if we look at some of the other members of Team Deter, like the Centaur Warrunner, you can see he's near the bottom of the leaderboard. He hasn't really got much in terms of farm, and Phantom Assassin does drop, and so does the Omni Knight mid with the aid of Graham's level 4, Grey Sponge's, apologies, Grey Sponge's level 4 Dagon. So now continuing to push through the mid lane, Team Toasty are going to pick up another tier 3 and possibly another Rax. So they picked up the melee Rax on bottom lane, and it looks like they're going for the melee Rax again. It looks like Spruce began to cast Winter's Curse onto Grey Sponge, but with Phase Shift did manage to cancel the cast animation. Now it looks like they are going to continue pushing through the mid lane, taking out the melee Rax and maybe even getting the range Rax as well. Dagon coming out, just absolutely obliterating Spruce. Grey Sponge popping his one onto Zeus and killing him as well. Melon dropping also. Oh no, a fantastic ult from Fable, but Grey Sponge does blink in and manage to get the kill. Sarge possibly going to drop here to Squirtle, but Grey Sponge on the back lines managed to take out the Omni Knight. Squirtle on his own could kill them, but no, it looks like they are going to wipe him. And GG well played is called out. A little bit of BM as the taunt comes through from Wub, but GG well played is called. 23 minutes into the game, 34-13. The first game goes to Team Toasty. So if we have a look at the at that last game, let's see some of the elements using in-game stat system, some of the elements of where it went wrong for Team Deter and where it went right for Team Toasty. So as you can see, the net worth of all Team Toasty players are quite high. Other than, of course, the slot 5 Vengeful Spirit, but if you compare that to the Omni Knight, the Winter Wyvern, and even the Centaur Warrunner, that is actually even very close to the Zeus as well. It doesn't look like that Team Deter really stepped up to this game. So look at if we have a look at Centaur Warrunner's build. We should be able to see his items. Oh yeah, graph, sorry. So player items. Now we can see around about the 3-minute mark, 4-minute mark. Tranquil Boots were picked up from Centaur, but after that, not much else. Blink Dagger in 14 minutes, but around 14 minutes is where Team Toasty's net worth, if we move over to the 14-minute mark, around about here. You can just see that's where the net worth of Team Toasty was just much, much higher than Team Deter's. Definitely did drop as well in certain things, and it didn't even. No one got above 10k. But if we look at Team Toasty, Grey Sponge peaking 15k to the aid of his Dagons. So that match is over. We're moving into the second game. Second game now. So under the consideration of who actually got the majority of the kills in that game for Team Toasty vs Team Deter, it looked like Grey Sponge did his aggressive playstyle, blinking in behind enemy lines, silencing them up with the puck, and just bursting down enemy heroes was a real problem for Team Deter. So there is a possibility that is going to get banned out. It also looked like not banning Drow in the early phase and allowing Team Toasty to pick it up was punished by Team Toasty. Just because Team Deter couldn't really control it. They had to commit 3 heroes down to the bottom lane on the off lane just to even be able to try and contest it. And sure, they got a couple of kills, but the rotations were just there for Team Toasty. Overall, in that first game, it did look like Team Toasty were the better team. But it could have just been the first game. This could be an entire different game when we move into our second one soon.
Radiant team's turn to ban.
So it looks like the picking and ban phase is underway. Team Toasty on Radiant, and this time Deter on Dire again. So it looks like they prefer to have the second ban, but prefer the Dire side. So the Drow Ranger being banned out very early into the game, and the Shadow Demon, which was played by Team Deter last week, being banned out first for Team Toasty, not Team Toasty, apologies.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So Ricky getting banned out by Team Toasty. That doesn't really surprise me. Every single game it seems like Team Toasty are banning out the Ricky. They don't want to be dealing with their supports having to spend 200 gold every 4 minutes, which is a lot of gold if you take into consideration the 100% uptime that is needed to be able to counter a Ricky well. Dust works, of course, in the early game, but the second Ricky gets a does manage to get a diffuser blade, it does then become purgeable, and Ricky then is a lot harder to kill. So Mirana coming out as a ban from Team Deter, and a very quick pick, Faceless Void onto Team Toasty. This is most likely going to be on Terra Ezreal, so we're going to see hopefully some nice Chronospheres in these big team fights that you'd like to see in tournament games. Could of course go the Grey Sponge approach, which is find someone who's out of position, pop everything including your ult, and then get the kill. Okay, Vengeful Spirit being picked up by Team Deter this time. I'm not too sure if that was a pick just to negate it from Team Toasty, as they didn't want to force it into their ban. But But yeah, so obviously one support already picked in the eyes of Vengeful Spirit, and the next pick up from Team Deter. Most likely going to be the slot 1 carry. Or I am mistaken, it's their offlaner. So we see an Axe pick up. So Axe counter helix was changed in this last patch as well. Damage was slightly reduced. That patch was 6.88E that we were talking about earlier, just for our first game.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So moving into the reserve time now for Team Toasty, and
Reserve time.
it looks like this will be their first support as well. Here's a possibility they go even earlier on the mid pick. Ah, no, Witch Doctor. Okay, so this is a WUB signature hero, I would say. He plays Witch Doctor quite a lot, and he plays Witch Doctor well. The casks are good, the ults are great. So hopefully are going to see some big team fights, which was Faceless Void. In previous patches, I believe it was around about 3 major patches ago, Witch Doctor used to be able to place his ultimate, his Death Ward, into Faceless Void's Chronosphere, and actually attack the people inside. However, that patch was changed recently, like I said, around about 3 major patches ago, and no longer allows that to happen, so it cannot actually attack anyone inside a Chronosphere. So that is an old combo coming out, but it looks like just the sustainability of a Witch Doctor in lane supporting a Faceless Void is going to be good. So a Conquer, Invoker, and a Tinker ban. While we're talking about that, so the Tinker ban for Team Deter is a kind of a respect ban for Grey Sponge. If we actually tab out, let's have a quick look onto Dota Buff, and we'll have a look at Grey Sponge's main account. We can see that, yeah, he has almost 600 games played on Tinker, so you don't really want to be playing against that at all. Again, a Juggernaut ban, so this is most likely going to be another respect ban. They've seen how Team Deter play Juggernaut, and I suppose it must be very good, as they aren't picking it up for themselves. Obviously, the carry has already been picked though, so... Again, again, moving back, the Conquer ban, primarily just because X-Mark and Torrent are a pain in the arse to play around, and it's very difficult to do it well. He is also a good mid laner, if played correctly. Okay, so second support coming up for Team Deter is an Oracle. Oracle, not a primary counter to many heroes, but has a lot of annoying abilities that can hinder a lot of heroes. Fate's Edict, of course. Oh, Sand King pickup. So that's going to be Grey Sponge mid. He was actually picked up for Grey Sponge in the first game against Team Eustace 2 weeks ago. And again, with his aggressive playstyle, it worked out very, very well for them. But yes, moving back to what I was saying about Oracle. Fate's Edict, which is his W, actually disables a hero. So disarms them. Not allowing them to attack, and that can be cast on either friendlies or enemies. It does, however, make them 100% spell immune. So you could pop that on a Faceless Void, and then just stop him from doing anything in a team fight, unless, of course, he builds a Diffuser Blade to Diffuser Blade it off himself. But that's a lot of gold that Faceless Void could be putting elsewhere. Of course, the mana burn from the Fusel Blade is also great for Faceless Void. And it does enable him to deal that extra little bit of damage in this side of his Chronosphere to maybe make it a ideal item. Timbersaw, okay. So, this looks like it's going to be a Timbersaw safe lane then. Primarily played in the off lane. Maybe even a mid. Timbersaw is very versatile, actually, come to think of it. So, Timbersaw against Sand King mid. Who wins that lineup? Oh, wow, an Elder Titan. So, maybe it's going to be Pastor Luca on Witch Doctor and Wub on Elder Titan like he played the other day. Kind of surprising, as Wub does play Witch Doctor quite a bit, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so again, sorry, getting sidetracked from the picks and bans. Timbersaw against Sand King. Who really wins that lineup? It definitely comes down to player skill. There's no question about that. They aren't like one isn't inherently better than the other. Timbersaw has a lot of damage and AoE, so it's not like a Sandstorm could save Sand King if needed, just for the small seconds of invisibility. However, Sand King can deal a lot of magical burst damage, which Timbersaw doesn't do great against, as he gains bonus armor with reactive armor and HP regen, but not magical damage immunity or magic resistance. So a Storm Spirit ban coming out. Do Team Deter not expect the Sand King mid? Is that why they banned at Storm Spirit? I'm not too sure. 1 moment, please.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team's turn to
Apologies about that. Okay, so a Huskar ban coming out. Doesn't like Team Toasty want to play against a Huskar. They did play against Huskar before. I believe it was against Portsmouth Shoes last week. Okay, so
Dire team's turn to pick.
this lineup is super aggressive from Team Toasty. But yeah, so they ban out the Huskar just because, one, he's a very annoying hero to play against. He can chase you down very quickly with
10
life
seconds
break.
remaining.
And he's very hard to kill if you can toggle correctly with the armlet that you build on him.
Reserve
So last 30 seconds of reserve time for Team Deter. And then we'll be jumping in to the game. So we already have the 2 support. We have an off lane and possibly 1 safe lane.
remaining.
So now we need a mid.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, and there it is, Viper. So it does look like Timbersaw is going to most likely be on the safe lane, I want to say now, with Axe on the 8th lane. But Stefan's playing Axe. Is it an Axe mid? We'll have to see when we load into the game, but Viper, again, another annoying hero to play against. But I think they can, Team Toasty can play around it and can do well to kind of fight this. Just waiting for the last 3
Who can get away
competitors
from this battle?
to connect into the game. Squirtle and Timbersaw. So it does look like Timbersaw is on the safe lane.
10 seconds remaining.
Spruce Moose and Oracle, as said. Spruce Moose. Ooh, just a little bit of lag. There we go. So yeah, Spruce Moose and Melon Jr. Both playing sports. Sorry, Fabled. Melon Jr. playing on Viper. Not a support hero. Can be played support. Not that great though. Looking into the safe, the Radiant. You see Sarge on Faceless Void, so it's going to be an offlane Void. Great Sponge mid with Sanking. Terra Azrael on the safe lane with Upward Dweller. Wub on Elder Titan. And Pastaluka on Witch Doctor. So pretty standard lanes so far. And we're just going to have a slight pause as it appears Pastaluka is having a few connectivity problems to the server. So as it connects back, it's like we're waiting for the go-ahead from both teams. Okay. So one of Team Deter has had to make a quick toilet run. Nice bit of nice bit of talk in the chat in all chat you can say, but God, he's a bit terrifying, isn't he? Look at him. Ugh. Didn't realise he had hair. So Axe does reconnect. It's like we should be ready to go. Here we go. So it looks like the game is now back underway after a series of toilet breaks and series of disconnections. So yes, Timbersaw safe lane. Viper mid with Stefan this time playing on the off lane instead of his mid lane that he's been playing recently. Spruce Moon. Are they going to do another tri lane? Are they going to leave Timbersaw on his own? Or are they just going to go down bottom to try and secure that rune again? But it's like a tri lane for Team Toasty as well. With Wub, Witch Doctor, and Outworld Devourer.
Seconds to battle.
Again, Sarge just spawning out the enemy jungle, not allowing any of the camps to spawn, just so he can have a much easier lane, and enable him to actually get some more last hits. As he did last game, he did a fantastic job doing it last game. He actually got a lot more than I expected in the early game, and contested the Centre War Runner quite a lot. So again, Grey Sponge picking up the bottom rune, and Team Deter allowing their Viper mid pick up the bottom rune, the top rune this time. Lackluster blocks from most of the mid laners, but I think I'm going to see some big fights down here. It is a 6-man lane. Tri-lane versus tri-lane. This is some, to put it bluntly, pub tier shit, boys. Okay, so it looks like the root coming out with Pastor Luca did a little bit of damage, but no real follow-up. Stun does get leveled by Spruce. So it looks like they are going to try and go for a kill. He's going to harass him out and then possibly place down the sentry if he noticed the ward, and he did, and he eats it up. A couple of spins from Stefan and continues farming up. Great one's going mid, possibly even killing Melon already. Doesn't have Burrow Strike yet. Corset Finale actually going to end up killing him if this comes out, but no, healing salve to heal him up. Corset Finale coming out, not enabling to heal himself up 100%. But wasting one of his orange branches and eating one of the shared tangos given to him by a team member. Pastaluka pulling the lane. It looks like Spruce is trying to come in and contest this. A full fight onto Pastaluka. Nice cast coming out. Stun on Pastaluka. Cool. Onto 2. Are they going to get the first kill? And they do. Just like last game, they get the first blood on one of the supports. And possibly the next kill as well. The spin does come out and kills Terra Israel. This bottom lane is just full of disables. You have Berserker's cool, you have Magic Missile, and Well, Fortune's End as well. Just being able to lock down heroes, and that could be the downfall for Terra Israel on Outwards of Outra. He needs a lot of farm to be able to do much. Sarge sees that this is a problem, so he switches out the lane. Terra Israel going onto the off lane, and him coming down to the safe lane. He does have a lot more survivability, I would say, versus Void than Outwards of Outra. Especially with Time Walk and how that did change. So obviously now Time Walk within the last, I believe it's 2 seconds, or is it 4 seconds? Yeah, the last 2 seconds, if he jumps away, he actually negates all the damage he was taking. That he took in those last 2 seconds. So Gracepoint's having to go back to base, uses bulk charges, but nothing that he really got from it. No level of corrosive skin yet, so not corrosive skin that's killing him. It could just be poison attack. Team Deter really love their tri-lane strat because they've TP'd Spruce Moose and the Oracle Fabled into the top lane. It looks like they're going to try and get a kill on Terra's Rule again. Rotating into the bot lane. It looks like they are just harassing Stefan and stomping onto Squirtle. Does manage to hit him, but doesn't look like there's really much they can follow up with. Terra's Rule just continuing to farm up. Both support and carry scared of Stefan. Does manage to use his Berserker Call, but does miss all heroes. Which is not good. Sorry. Just not good for the accent. Wow. What we just saw there was that Gracepoint actually miss his Burrow Strike, and it could have killed him. It does kill him. That's very rare from Gracepoint that he misses his stun. So the fact that he did and it got him killed, he's probably kicking himself right now. So Illusion Rune picks up past Luca just to negate it from the Viper. And now continuing to just right click Stefan. No real damage, just harassing. Both Central Wards just out of range of each other. It looks like the two lackeys of Axe are now rotating back down to the bottom lane, and they are smoked up, so no wards will spot them, and it looks like they could try for a pick off if Pasaluka does go back into the jungle. They're nuclear there right now. Pasaluka does move into the jungle, and he does look like he's going to get picked off, and he does, sadly. It's a nice cast, bounce between the correct targets, but Axe just counter-helixing, and his right clicks are enough to take out the Witch Doctor, and Axe now jumping past the tier 1, and looks like, yeah, just cutting the lane, not going for the hero, but going for the creeps. Just to enable him to possibly push this lane early. While that was going on, Our Devourer did manage to get a kill on Timbersaw with the aid of Great Sponge, who looks like he's kind of abandoning his lane mid right now, while there are 3 of them now. So the rotations we were seeing from last game have now been adopted by Team Deter instead of Team Toasty. Team Toasty had some great rotations last game, but this time they have 2 roaming supports, and they are constant roaming supports. I don't think I've seen them stop yet for Team Deter. Grey Sponge blocking the creeps, but hasn't noticed, well, doesn't look like he's noticed the 2 enemy heroes pushing around on him. He does manage to borrow strike out of the situation, but a little bit slow reactions from all players, I would say. An Arcane Rune for Sand so it's going to enable him to do a lot more in this top lane to stop it getting pushed, but 3 people. We're setting onto mid. If the stomp does come through, could get a kill on Melon Junior and Viper, but doesn't look like anything is to come of it. Oracle does TP in. Moving into the top lane, it looks like Squirtle is jumping under tier 1 for some odd reason. Trying to attack Great Sponge more, but there's nothing he can really do on his own. Sure, Spruce Moose is at the sidelines, but currently farming up and putting creeps. Doesn't look like her primary focus is to try and kill him, but Great Sponge looks like he could actually drop! does not have a level in Sandstorm to even be able to get away from this. Cast does come out and does bounce between Squirtle and the creeps. Grace Punch, what are you doing? Jumping directly onto Squirtle again, but Timber Chain does come out and does actually miss. Stomp! Ooh, just a little bit too late. So now we see the over-aggressive playstyle from Grey Sponge. Level 6, and he still has not leveled a single level in Epicenter, so burrows in, no levels in Sandstorm, and just dies. So what we're seeing now is the 404 build on Sanking. So basically, you max out Corsic Finale, you max out Burrow Strike, and then you get an Ags as soon as possible. As obviously, moving in the mid. Oh, the stop does just miss! It hits the creeps, but does not hit Melon Jr. The timing is literally milliseconds off, and does actually enable Melon Jr. to get out. Oh, this is great for Viper. A regen rune. No boot, no bottle, but who needs it when you have something that is literally refills your health and mana to full. Spruce Moose not having 6 yet, so can't swap, but moving in here, looks like Grey Sponge and 3 of his other teammates. Oh, coming in, and wow, what a fantastic Timber Chain, actually hitting on 3 members of Team Toasty. And with the help of the 5th and final member of Team Toasty, they do manage to kill Timbersaw, but that was a lot of committed. That was a lot committed just for those 2 heroes. And the Chakram Timber Chain combo could have been even bigger, but it did the job for what he tried to do, which was escape for a little bit longer. Terrazil looks like he's going to drop to Melon. Melon popping Viper Strike and just waltzes his way out of it. Chronosphere on cooldown, must have been using the Oracle around the Radiant hard camp and top.
Radiant's top tower deserves just as much help as bottom.
And looking down to the bottom lane. Wild on Elder Titan just called out. Absolutely called out. Just before the, just after, sorry, the easy camp for Radiant. They managed to pick him off just before he gets to tier 1. Sanking is in the jungle, and he does manage to scout out, I believe, that there is Timbersaw there, but they don't see the dusted heroes until it is too late. Stun and call onto 2, but onto 1, but stomp onto only the bench. This one's literally just having to stand around until he has his stun, but is he not getting Epicenter biting him in the ass? I think it is. A little bit. A little bit. He's going to go for his Blink Dagger. He's not too far off it now. Just going to be continuing to farm up. If we have a look at the net worth right now, we can see totally different story from the last game where we had 3 enemy heroes, 3 heroes for Team Toasty above Team Deter. It's totally opposite story. So 3 of Team Deter's heroes above all of Team Toasty, and Chronosphere popped onto Melon, and the Maledict just coming out and actually dealing the final blow to kill the Viper. Looks like they're having trouble killing Viper as well if they're having solo Chronosphere.
Radiant's top tower has looked better. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Terrazil just up top and continuing to just continue to farm up and push back any form of attack that does come out from Team Deter. So Team Toasty have great team fight. There's no question about that. However, they aren't really capitalizing on it right now. Two of the primary damaging AoE heroes, the OD and the Sand King, both haven't leveled their ultimates yet. Do they leave it until level 10, get one level in level 10, and then level it up to level 2 at level 11? Or just leaving it until the next level would depend. Depends on how this game goes, I think.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
Timbersaw pushing down the middle lane of Radiant and just continuing to knock it down. A couple of rotations coming in from the medium camp.
Killing spree.
Axe picking up Elder Titan with Berserker's cool. Fishman does not have his Blink Dagger, so it's a possibility for him to be able to enter into these fights a lot quicker and deal with enemies. But
Radiant's middle tower is under
Timbersaw getting a pick off mid and Pastaluka getting caught out of position as well. Stuns up, Timber Chain is on cooldown, Voodoo Restoration does come through. No, Chronosphere for 14 seconds and Pastaluka doing a great job of dodging Pastaluka. Pastaluka doing a great job of dodging Timbersaw, but
tower has fallen.
looks like it doesn't matter, really. Rotations in from Grey Sponge, ultimate pops, just 2 ultimates, just for Squirtle, 3 ultimates! Oh, but a fantastic save from Fabled, but it looks like the damage will be enough. Just, Stefan comes in, Berserker's Call off cooldown, but not using it. Now using Berserker's Call just for the bonus 40 armor, but nothing to come of it now. He got a fantastic blink into 4 heroes and just must have forgot what his abilities did. So 14 minutes into this game and a totally different story from what we saw last time. Team Deter ahead in net worth just by around about 2,600, 2,700 XP. Gold, sorry, and XP wise around the same, 2,700 I'd say. Venge Viper and Axe pushing out the bottom tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Venge warning up just to kind of harass Terra Azul out of
Top tower is under attack.
into more defensive position. And who they catch? They end up catching Sarge and he does just drop. Gets caught by 4 of them and
Tower.
right now I don't think they can even be this far up. Sorry, that was even terrible, this far up.
In Dire's top tower? Dire's top tower has been denied. Radiant's bottom
Squirtle pushing through bot, along with the rest of his team, and Elder Titan possibly going for a stomp.
not much good.
He does stomp, doesn't hit any of the enemy heroes, but does
Doing better than Dire's middle
sleep the
tower.
creeps
Radiant
for a long enough time.
fortified their structures.
Chronosphere on cooldown for another 20 seconds for
Dire's middle
Faces Void, but he isn't alive right now anyway. So are they going to try and commit to a big fight bot to save their tier 2, or are just going to let it fall for the trade of a tier 1? But they can't even get the tier 1! Squirtle's early TPs come through and disable Outward Devourer from getting that tower, and now Grey Sponge is pushing through to the top lane. It looks like he is trying to kill Stefan, but he is very wary. He is very, very wary of even going anywhere near him. So he knows that he can die to him, but with the help of his team, they could do a great job of killing him here. And unless they have another stun! Okay, so Astral Imprisonment coming through, and that itself will actually kill the Axe. Was very, very close to being a different story though, and Grey Sponge coming in with an epicenter, but does whiff, not hitting anyone, and Sarge Chronospearing, catching 2, but actually eventually kills Grey Sponge's own team. Spruce Moose is being saved by Oracle, and now Pastaluka is being rooted. Vengeful Spirit drops, Viper killing Pastaluka, and possibly even Terra 2 as well if the stun is enough. Stomp is on cooldown just for, well no, Stomp is off cooldown, but not much he can really do to be able to save his teammate. He's going to try and stomp, just be able to get a trade kill, but it looks like the stomp does come through. But just after a triple kill on Viper, they still don't manage to get him either. He's doing a lot of damage and being a big problem for Team Toasty. A 4-for-3 trade at this time in the game is not good at all. So you'll see Viper picking up a Shadow Blade, and it's most likely so he can just roam around the map looking for enemy heroes and just picking them off with even more damage than he already has. So Grey Sponge teleporting in to the tier 1 here and channeling his epicenter. He channeled the epicenter here and moved over to mid, blinked in, but his stun didn't connect to anyone. Oracle was just out of range with Venge just over here. And then he managed to get into a good position where it's hitting quite a few people. The Chronosphere was actually enabling it to deal more damage to the enemies of Team Toasty. But the Venture Spirit and Oracle didn't actually die to that. They didn't die for a long time afterwards, actually. And Oracle did manage to come in, pop his False Promise, which had just come off cooldown for the next fight, and saved Vengeful Spirit and enabled her to do a little bit more damage. I think it actually secured 1 kill for them as well. Chronosphere as well, just coming off cooldown, so it looks like everyone's ults are resetting, and with Vengeful Spirit invisible here, no sentry wards up for Team Toasty, but they're pinging out. They are pinging out Faceless Void. They want him dead. What's directly past Venge, not knowing, but Venge on her own cannot do anything. He needs to be very careful. She needs to be very careful even. There is a sentry ward very close. So just a few units to the left, and she will get spotted out. But no, she does just push back to her side of the river, and Miso Vax, give him a hand with the stack that she helped create. Look at the vision from Team Toasty. They literally only see their half of the river, and that's just because they're a little bit too scared to push across it. However, if we look at Team Deter, obviously they're not seeing much more either, but they do have vision of the enemy medium camp, which is a great way of enabling good vision around this entire area, which is a transfer spot from obviously bot to mid and jungle to mid and stuff like that. All members of Team Toasty are trying to farm up. Grey Sponge, the only one who's close enough on a 7,000, and oh dear. So let's have a quick look here. Sarge can't see the enemies. It looks like Team Deter can see the effects from Faceless Void, and this could possibly be the death of Faceless Void and Elder Titan if they don't manage to get out quick enough. However, the way that Time Walk has been popped, it looks like he is jumping over to around about here, close to the Elder Titan. They will be disengaging. So hopefully, for Team Toasty's sake, they don't get picked off here by any members of Team Deter. So yep, jumping out, popping Spirit, and just scouting out the remainder of the enemy heroes. Some coming through just into the creeps, kills a couple of them, and again another pause. More lag. Oracle was not back. Oracle is still AFK. And he's back, okay. Right then. Hopefully. No, good old face farm. Hopefully Team Toasty can pull this game back. They are behind. There's no question about this. They are very, very behind in this game, but scan coming out. Does actually manage to hit and spot the Oracle and the Axe. So they do know, and now they've spotted out Timbersaw. Sarge popping time dilation just to stop any of the cooldowns, which is all cooldowns from him, apparently. And they come head to head with Viper. Stun onto the Viper, and now are they going to continue pushing here? This Shadow Blade coming out. Christian's getting dusted up, and it doesn't look like they're actually going to be able to continue on Viper. A fantastic call, hitting on 2, possibly killing Terrorazil, and it doesn't actually. He manages to save himself, but it looks like the enemy team are going to come round. And oh no, a fantastic save by Sarge, hitting only on 1, but the swap coming out. Grey Sponge with a great epicenter, killing out the 2 supports, and now they're going to be pushing through, hopefully killing the Viper. Pasaluka doesn't look like he's going to drop 2. But the stomp coming out, hitting onto Viper. A fantastic stomp from Grey Sponge. He does, however, have to get disengaged. Sandstorm coming through, but there is no detection for them. Now Team Deter with a great trade for Team Toasty. 2 for 2. It's the little achievements that they need to be going for right now. Grey Sponge, Vela Discord, but Stun's missed. What's going on with Grey Sponge today? Cool, gets popped on Grey Sponge, and now I think he does drop. Yep. So remember that fight that was good because of the 2 for 2 trade? Definitely not good now. Especially due to the fact of the heroes that they lost. They didn't even lose the supports. They lost all 3 carries on Team Toasty. 4 Team Deters, 2 supports. And that's just not really acceptable trades, to be honest with you.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Squirtle with 15 Bloodstone charges, actually regenerating tons of mana for him, and enabling him to be able to suicide, not lose his streak. Look at the kills and deaths. Viper has only been killed once, and you can see. You just look at his items, and you can easily tell that the one death is apparent. It's basically negligible. Christian stun up the creeps, just looking to be able to farm up for that Aghanim Scepter. It looks like Team Toasty are definitely trying to take this game late. Team Deter rotating all heroes up to top lane, it looks like. Hold on the Axe. Axe has decided that he's going to stay mid and just continues the team to push back. Smoked up on the side of Team Toasty, and all ults are available. Are they going to jump in just on 1? But the smoke gets revealed, and puppy paws. It's getting called out. Puppy paws, boys. Jesus Christ. So, if you're wondering what a puppy paws is, basically, there's a pro Dota here, pro Dota player called Puppy. Primarily played for Na'Vi, but has now played for Team Secret. Now plays and captains for Team Secret. Played there for the last 2 years now. He's one of the founding members, and one of the matches he played a few years ago, just before a team fight, he paused. People still ask why was there an issue with the PCs, but a lot of people seem to think, he's paused in the middle of this team fight, so he explains to his team, because it's a bad team fight, what they need to do to be able to turn the fight around, and they did. They did do that. So, if you hear someone say puppy paws, it's mainly because it looks like Deter have paused because they've spotted a smoke and they realise that there are other people in this jungle. And Squirtle is trying to work out what he's going to do. Possibly the best thing here is just to Whirling Death and then spin straight around and just Timber Train to that tree right here. But, right here, sorry. And secure his escape. But with the rest of his team hot on his tails, they could just go straight for this next fight instead of that. Hopefully we will resume in very short period of time. Keck, as we see from Squirtle. So the smoke is still on Sergeant Pastaluka, so there's a possibility of Sarge just jumping in and chronosphering, but yeah, Team Toasty do only see Squirtle. Squirtle does only see Elder Titan, so it's not like they know fully that there's a team fight going on, but there will be very soon. And without the axe, there is a possibility that Team Toasty could win this one. I really think this fight is dependent on a good chronosphere. Elder Titan ult actually, Earth Shatter, if it's at the correct angle, will actually accidentally catch. The 3 members of Deter who are actually outside the fight. Good old drawing. But yeah, so if he does pop, he will actually scout them out, and I was getting my rapier. Some real kappa shit. Please leave me alone. So yeah, if it is at the right angle, it will spit out the rest of the enemy team. Grey Sponge could actually technically start channeling an epicenter now. But there's some bartering going on here so far. Elder Titan's gonna give Squirtle a gem if he leaves him alone. Again, guys, apologies for these pauses. Not much we can really do about them, though. Well, not much I can do about them, anyway. You know what? Let's have a quick look. Mo's scale. MOHS scale. What's this? The Mo scale is of mineral hardness is qualitative ordinal scale that characterizes the scratch resistance of various minerals through the ability of a harder mineral to scratch softer mineral. I see. Well, the more you know in Dota games. Hey Axe, you coming back? Axe? When no come back again? Okay, so while we're paused, let's have a look at net worth. So right now you can still see that Team Toasty are very behind. They've been very behind for the majority of this game, as you can see by this giraffe. Giraffe? A giraffe. This giraffe right here. And it's just getting further and further down. Hopefully, if this team fight goes well for Team Toasty, though, it will shoot straight back up. So we will will be ready to go, hopefully in just a couple of seconds. This team fight, hopefully a big team fight and a good team fight for Team Toasty. I'm a little bit biased, but mainly I just want to see some good Dota. Here we go, both teams saying go, and
The battle resumes.
scouting out the stun onto Squirtle, and now Grey Sponge is now being revealed. Looks like they can continue to nuke him down, but Fortune's End. Oh, okay, Chronosphere onto 2. They are dealing additional damage to him, and he drops as well. Elder Titan dealing some nice damage with his ult. Also, no detection. Detection is now popped, but it does actually just catch him. And they do drop Viper. 3 for 0 so far. The Bloodstone charges. The Bloodstone charges. Yeah, I got my eggs. On Timbersaw. Dropped by only 8, but do allow him to respawn very soon. Soul Boost to pick up.
They're beating on Dire's top tower.
As comes in, jumps onto Pastor Luca, and actually does manage to catch him. Catches charge in the process as well, but he looks like he's trying to disengage. Stomp comes through, only catching Squirtle, but no stuns. Oh, the swap! Just about to cancel the teleport, and
Dire's top tower is under attack.
by my case. But yeah, so that turned around quite quickly. I still think, if we have a look at the gold graph from that last fight, yeah, so you can see it did jolt up hugely. That was a 7,500. 7,500 gold lead for Team Deter. However, now just below 5,000. Just above 5,000, sorry. So 2,500 gold difference from that one team fight up top, where they did end up killing 3 more heroes. And the swing wasn't actually that bad either. You can see, well, there's a massive swing as well, going again up to the 5,000. Grey Sponge grabbing an illusion rune and chucking them into Squirtle. No tree for you to connect there, buddy. Melon. Just losing his Shadow Blade invisibility, and then Sarge leaping away after one auto attack. And the pause comes out again. So it looks like, if I read that correctly, Windows just said I'm about to be signed out in 2 minutes. Fantastic. Oh. Sarge asking if there isn't a lot of time. Yeah, it's 10 minutes Mac. We've been paused for like 15 minutes. We can ask him. So it looks like they are just might actually go for an admin. Talk to an admin here, because it's not wrong. They did agree to on the rules beforehand. So even an admin in here? Admin, you know how long they can pause for. Calm your tits, boys. Oh no. You know what? Well, we're not an admin. I'm not connected with Blink Esports at all, but while we're here, let's have a quick check of the rules. So I believe it is Battle Fire that everything is run off of. I believe the rules are also on there. If not, we can check the Blink. Yeah, Blink Esports, there we go. You can just check the rules from there. So the rules, in-game rules. So, from the looks of it, it does look like the rules have technically already been broken. Unless there is a new rule set that I'm not aware of. In the game, okay, if a disconnect occurs, pause the game instantly, allowing for up to 10 minutes for them to fix the issue and reconnect to the game. Every team has a total of 10 minutes to use for technical issues. If a team exceeds their allotted time, the opposing team has the right to resume the game. The opposing team is required to pause the game in the event that all players of the opponent team unintentionally disconnect. Please use common sense and respect each other. However, there is also a timeout rule where every team is allowed to have a total of 2 timeouts during the game. This should be used for situations such as answering the door, going to the toilet, etc., etc. And a timeout should be called in all chat, and you're allowed to pause the game 3 seconds later. And every timeout is maximum 2 minutes long, and you only get 2 of those. So it is 10 minutes allotted each. Not enough after that. Sorry about that. Couldn't talk for a second there because Mum tried to talk down the mic. Oh yeah, Mum, it was muted. Yeah, get right. So yeah, it does actually. Fantastic. For technical issues, it's a 10-minute leeway. So it has been 10 minutes. We've been paused for around about the same time that this game's been going on. Only 26 minutes into this game so far. Jesus Christ. So it looks like Starlaw wasn't actually logged into administrator, goddammit. Oh, BDO is bad. Whoa! Shit, Fabled calling out the Blink Dota League. Anyway, 10-minute tech issues. I mean, it's been longer than 10 minutes. Oops. I don't think you did clock the time. It's only been like 7 minutes. I don't think that's true. I will actually, I'm going to go back and check because... Okay. Yeah, okay, after this game, I'm gonna double check that. So I'll make a note of that because I don't think that's right. When it gets 10 minutes, Toasty have the right to unpause. I think it's been 10 minutes. Oh, so it's okay. So it's 10 minutes cumulative in the thing. So they can have unlimited DCs then, huh? Why if I unpause right now? Right. So okay. This is kind of sad that this game, which looks like it could actually be brought back by Team Toasty, has been delayed. Just because I don't think that's true. I don't think you would get a DQ because this is kind of taking the piss, to be bluntly honest with you. I will check after this game, and if Team Toasty want it, I will gladly I'll just link them the videos so they can have proof. This is going on for a bit longer than expected. So it looks like it's 10 minutes cumulative and there's unlimited disconnection times. I don't know if I really like that though. That seems a bit thingy. Here we go. Axe hacks. Great. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get into this game soon, because like I was just saying, Team Toasty can bring this game back. And if given the opportunity, if Axe rejoins, then... It's not been 8 minutes at all, it's been longer. So we are currently at 8 minutes, at 2 hours and 2 minutes into the game. I do not know what that says in Russian. I'll do a quick translation for you, Vakaraya. Okay. So, are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? It has been 10 minutes and... Oi, midnight. Set your clock back. Oh my goodness. Okay, just wake me up. Wake me up when the pause is done. I feel like a meanie. Okay, there we go. So I'm pausing. There we go. So Axe is AFK and he's been given over 10 minutes to be able to reconnect now, and he hasn't. So Team Toasty are going to resume the game, which is fair to them. Like, the rules are the rules. It's 10 minutes. I personally think it was 10 minutes a long time ago, but... Need to farm up on the jungle, and it looks like they're actually trying to... Yeah, they're sticking Axe with Oracle just for the time being, just in case he does reconnect, so he doesn't want to have to make him run all the way back from base, but it could actually be a detriment. Are they going to sacrifice Oracle? And here he is, he's back finally. Just farming up the jungle. Looks like that's exactly what the rest of Team Toasty are going to be doing as well. Graceman just pushing out the bottom lane. And that's why he wants his Aghanim Scepter, and that is now what's on the way. Didn't realise the Kyrie was called Please Don't Feed Me, that's kind of fantastic. So yeah, now that Grace Mons does have his Aghanim Scepter, Caustic Finale is applied on all Burrow Strike heroes, and its cast range is doubled, so... An Invis Haste Viper does get revealed, but that does just run out, but he has to disengage straight away. Team Toasty see it and get scared, but they are all in the jungle right now, and they are staying there, sticking as a 5, because Team Deter's, realistically, their team fight isn't great. The only main team fight they have is a nice 5-man call, but that's going to be very difficult to do. Okay, so smoked up and looping around the outside of Team Toasty's Radiant jungle. Looks like they are looping all the way past the Dire Ancients, and smoked up from the side of Team Deter as well. And Deter look like they're going for a Roshan push, while Team Toasty are looking... Wow, they totally passed each other. Wow. So they're both looking for each other, but they're both going to their last team positions, and both have lost each other. Both smokes wearing off very shortly, and it looks like Team Deter are in a better position. They've actually pushed up, and Team Toasty are now by a tier 1. Are they actually going to fully rotate all their heroes, or are they just going to trade a tier 1 for a team 2? Grey Sponge is now at the tier 2 and ready to defend. He does have Epicenter, and now that he has Aghanim Scepter, he could actually take a big team fight like this, and looks like that's what he tried to do. Cool, actually missed. Casket coming out. Oh, fantastic casket on 2. And now the Chronosphere does trap the ward inside. Doesn't do much. And Epicenter coming through as well. Attacking Squirtle. Squirtle is, however, Fate's edited. Oh, wow. What a fantastic Earth Shatter. Just dealing tons of damage. And this could be the team wipe that brings Team Toasty back into the game. Melon's going to drop. Viper does drop. And that is a 5-man wipe for... Only a Faceless Void, and Team Toasty now straight back into this game after that one fantastic team fight. Pushing down mid. And you can now just see, you let a Sanking farm, you let him get his Aghanim Scepter, it will deal a lot of damage. It was a nice Chronosphere, it was a very nice Death Ward as well, but the Chronosphere did obviously hit a Death Ward, cancelling the majority of its damage. It was a little bit of miscommunication from Team Toasty, but it didn't really look like it mattered. Not a huge opportunity for Team Toasty to be able to push here, but they could get a tier 2, and that actually put them almost equal in towers to Team Deter. Let's have a look at the gold swing now. Wow, that was a 7,500 gold lead just almost 10 minutes ago, and now just down to 2,500. XP the same. And now Team Toasty with their ultimates coming off cooldown very shortly for a couple. Could be looking to take another fight. Epicenter off in 5 seconds. So, cool. Coming through onto 2 and does manage to actually kill 1. Possibly dropping Grey Sponge as well. The sleep was there, but just not in time. Timber Train coming through, getting the Witch Doctor, and it looks like this TP could actually kill. Well, but no, he managed to get himself out, and Faceless Boy continues farming up the jungle. The Team Deter retaliate from that last team fight with a good fight of their own, picking off 3 and still pushing through the bottom lane, but now rerouting over to the Roshan. Over to the Roshan pit. Picking this up most likely on the Viper. Actually, I'd say the Axe. Viper hasn't been dying much, but it's possibly due to positioning. So he could play a much more aggressive position and then still do a lot of what he's been doing recently. So a stomp on 3 of them, but hasn't been picked up yet. Looks like Timber is going to pick it up. Okay.
They can't kill me. Nobody can.
So we actually scouted out that Team Toasty have seen the wards, but not really sure. Can't really do much. He's going to leap up there to be able to take them out, or is he just going to leave them there? Maybe Outward Devourer could come along and deal with them, but right now he's farming up middle lane, and 4 heroes, Team Deter, down bottom lane. No tier 2 there though. Final tier 2 is at top, so it looks like they're not pushing through there, but it looks like they're trying to just take out the creeps with this double stacked lane that they have now and push through for maybe a tier 3. Stomping onto a lot and gaming 96 bonus damage is quite a lot. Timbersaw trying to take out Grey Sponge, but not able to catch up with him. Grey Sponge obviously still have his blink and his 4-staff, but it looks like he will just stun into Squirtle. Dodge that, 4-staff out, and probably blink into the trees and TP out. Son is off cooldown. He doesn't look too scared, to be honest. He's playing quite calmly. He's Not doing anything rash, and the blinks after we see Tim Shane kill off it. Blinks into the trees and then TP's out. Gets himself back to base and ready to defend possible push from Team Deter. Viper. Celebrating up. Oh, sorry. Silver's edging up. Looks like he's upgraded that recently. And so, in consideration of that, what passives does it break? So it can't break Bash. Essence Aura. Essence Aura it could break quite well. It's a nice aura to have for your team, especially with an Elder Titan. And Natural Order it can break as well. So base armor reduction of 100% when we're in 275. Wow. That's obviously very close. That is melee range for him, isn't it? Okay, no, it's a little bit further than melee range, but very close. So Team Toasty looping round, actually pick off Viper, which is terrible because Viper is the one hero that they can't really be affording to lose. Chronosphere onto the axe and then swaps it out for the Venge. And now, like I was saying earlier, being able to pop Oracle W onto the Faceless Void to stop him from dealing any damage. Stomp does come through onto Stefan. Stefan will possibly drop. The stuns are there, but doesn't look like it is enough. And now, wow, the cask bouncing to the creeps. And another 5k maybe? Are they going to wipe the entire team? The stomp could come through if it is enough, but looks like Timber Chain just into the trees enables him to get out. But again, another fight for Team Toasty where they focus down one hero early on, this time the Viper, and then initiate with a Chronosphere afterwards. And it looks like that's exactly what they need to be doing. They can't be initiating with the Chronosphere because, as you've seen from last time, if they do, then it just goes badly. They need to save the Chronosphere for a lockdownable target, such as the Axe, who then gets Fate's Edict, pops on top of him. False Promise, sorry. Pops on top of him to enable him to then get swapped and technically saved by Venge, then picking off the Vengeful Spirit. Everything went well for Team Toasty there. The only thing which could have gone bad was the fact that Squirtle managed to get out of that fight, and it looks like Squirtle did get caught by the stomp, but nothing to come of that. Just managed to get the tier 2, and now we are on level peggings in this game. It almost 0 net worth difference. And Team Toasty are actually ahead now in XP. Looking at network graph, you can see the mid of Grey Sponge and Terror is Real on the safe lane. On the safe lane, Outward Devourer have finally come online. They are starting to deal damage. They're getting their items and they're winning these team fights. So Aegis doesn't have Expire on the Timber Source, so that's something that Team Toasty might have taken a note of just by obviously checking on the timer. And now only 3 minutes 50 around about until Roshan spawns. A pretty early respawn timer for Roshan now. Timbersaw actually picking up his Aghanim Scepter now, and they are smoked up. They're smoked up down bot, looking for anyone that they can find, and it looks like they actually, yeah, they do. Okay, they spot out the dust, and it looks. I don't know why, but that animation is so dumb. It's unbelievable. That's awesome. So, Team Deter are all down bot, and Team Toasty are all down top, looking to take out their final tier 2 for the Dire side. And they do manage to get it, and now are they just going to TP straight back to the tier 2 up top and defend their own, or looks like they're going to continue to push, trying to go for tier 3s, and all members, a couple of members of Team Deter do have teleport scrolls, but not all of them. But the main ones who do have them are TPing back, but a tier 3 will drop in this time. Late fortification. I don't really think it was worth it because there's no more TP reactions. Team Deter is coming from behind, but against all 5 of them, I don't know what he can do. They're going to take down the range racks, and Team Deter actually can do nothing. They don't have TPs. They've had to pick up some TPs, but now it looks like the fight is almost over, actually. They've done what they needed to. Pastor Luca was glimmercates himself, and Axon does get Yule Sceptered, and now after the sleep comes through, they are trying to disengage on this team fight because a lovely call just onto one on Terror Azil, but they are trying to disengage. They don't have team fight, but maybe they do. Chronosphere on 2, stun on 2 as well. Looks like the Death Ward is not going to actually deal much damage, and it is just directly focusing down Viper, and Viper can do nothing about it. Looks like the epicenter coming through, the stun directly onto Axe just after the ult was. Just after the Yules was dropped, even so. He dies, and now the final hero left, the Oracle. Is he going to drop to the Grey Sponge Team Toasty? Sanking, he's just going to continue right-clicking him. Yule Scepter does get chucked up, but it doesn't look like they are going to be able to get the kill. Viper buys back, Silver's edges himself and looking to go onto Grey Sponge, but he slept! There was a blind sleep! They're going to take the melee racks and now continue to push through the top lane. Fantastic stun, just about to save his teammate's stun, then blink out. And that's an entire lane of racks. 2 buybacks and a lane of racks. No mini bash for you. You're not being able to cancel that TP. So, from a game that looked like it was over from Team Toasty, they've managed to bring this game back with a series of great team fights around 36 and 38 minutes into this game. Push out all of the lanes, take all of the tier 2s when they didn't have any of them to begin with, and then finally take an entire lane of racks in one push and force 2 buybacks from the primary damage dealers and problems on Team Deter. So Team Deter do spot out Grey Sponge, who is building. What are you building? You go yourself a Soul Booster. So there's only a few items that Soul Booster can be built into, obviously. Either an Octarine Core or a Bloodstone. You're not going to build on Bloodstone on that hero, so obviously an Octarine Core. So the Octarine Core for Grey Sponge, obviously going to lower the cooldowns, which is great. Deal additional magic damage, which is even better, especially with her Burrow Strike dealing not tons of damage right now, but the damage from Caustic Finale added on top is dealing a lot. Obviously, Caustic Finale is physical damage, not magical, so it isn't going to be dealing different damage in that front, but it's still going to be good. The main reason you get it, though, is the cooldown. And the spell lifesteal is nice as well, especially Representative. So it looks like an easy Roshan take. It doesn't look like Team Deter can really take this out. Grey Sponge is just taking out creeps. Like there is no problems there. However, they do trade a tier 2 for Roshan, but I think that's a worthwhile trade. With the Aegis of Immortals going onto the Outward Devourer, it does look like that they can force a big team fight with Outward Devourer at the helm.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Squirtle being weirdly kind of out of position. I don't think he could really have been here for the time when he was. There were 3 enemy heroes mid of Team Toasty, and oh, it looks like Pablo Escobar. You're gonna die, Wob. Stomp doesn't hit. Stun does, and the crit just absolutely destroying Wob. He's dead for 60. That might actually deter Team Toasty from taking a team fight. As the additional buffs that they get from Elder Titan and the fact that he can just disengage an entire team fight is not something to be joked about. It can can definitely change the tides of a battle, and it's one of those things that you just need to think about. If you can get a pick off like that, go for it, of course, there's no question about it, but should you really be in that position as Zelda Tyson? Should you really be pushing out mid lane on your own when you don't have any vision? And it's a question to ask yourself. So the Bloodthorn Viper's now just picked up is going to be a huge problem for anyone who actually comes in contact with. He's going to be able to pick off all of these supports very easily. He's going to be able to shut down Sarge, his Faceless Void, quite well. But it looks like his primary target right now is the Outworld Devourer. He's going to open up just for a couple of left clicks and then Viper Strike on top of him after Bloodthorning, and the team fight is just there. They turn that straight around. Quarter finale does manage to get the last hit. Deals enough damage for the final right click for Terrazil to come through and get the last hit. Now healing up while dusted. Grabbing that final sentry. That was a bit questionable. Grabbing that final sentry ward, sorry, and now pushing through the top lane. Middle lane, sorry, and just pushing deep into Team Deter's base to be able to try and kill the Timbersaw, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. He does heal up for more than he actually gets damage, so after the sleep is on Axe, Terrazil will drop his Aegis, but I think that was kind of the idea. It was pretty low already. Stun, getting dodged, Chronosphere or two, and then the ward is actually attacking everyone, and this can actually be the GG fight. They silence him up. Epicenter coming through. Now trying to kill the Timbersaw. If they get a Timbersaw, I think this game is over. That's all 5 of them dead. Pushing through mid. Buyback from Timbersaw, seeing what he can do, but I think this could be over if they get the dieback from the Timbersaw. Stuns coming through. The damage is just too much. GG. GG. They are just going to continue pushing down this rack while Viper's dead for another 20 seconds. Taking out the melee barracks. Taking out the range barracks. And I actually think they can now just push through. Nobody on the side of Team Deter have buyback. Team Toasty obviously don't know this, but they're taking the final lane of racks, and I don't think there's much Team Deter can do now. I'm sure Viper's just come back up, but he can't leave base on his own, really. They're all grouped up as 5. The solo pick attitude that he's been playing won't work. GG well played is called out, and that's it. That is it. Team Toasty, after a very bad early game and almost lost the game quite early in, around 25 minutes in, turned this game right around with a series of great team fights and managed to win. So that, again, is a 2-0 victory in this standing, and Team Toasty are undefeated. They have 6 games under their belt in this series, and there's not many games left. So if we continue looking now, this is now week 3 out of 9. 6 games under their belt, sorry. And it doesn't look like anything is slowing them down. 9 points on the bracket. Second place is Paul Smith Shoes with 3. That could have just been not updated though, so 3 wins. What can you say? What can you say? Fantastic bit of play from all players. Team Deter did a fantastic job in the early game. There is no question about that. But they allowed the game to go on for a little bit too long. The team fight from Team Toasty was a little bit too much. So again, GG, well played to both teams. Commiserations to Team Deter. Hope they do well later on though. They're definitely one of those teams that you want to be looking out for. To be able to check out future games in these series, I will primarily only be casting the Team Toasty games, but you can check out all of the results and follow the tournament on the website www.BlinkEsports.com or the Battlefy link, which I will chuck in the description of this live stream when it goes onto my channel, so you can watch it at any time that you want. Analyze the gameplay, analyze my casting, anything you like. So my name has been Cody1304. I hope you guys have enjoyed this couple of games of casting. Please let me know. Message me in the comments. Message me on YouTube itself. If there are any recommendations for things that I should change about my streams, things that you think I could improve on, and just things that you would like to see. Production value increase, maybe. We can give it a try. Well, I've been Coder134. Thank you very much for tuning in for this great series. And I will see you next time.